This is TTT. Live for local.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar will attend the 51st regular meeting of the CARICOM Conference of Heads of Government, which is scheduled to begin on Sunday in St. Lucia. The opening ceremony will take place at Sandal, St. Lucia on July 5th at 4 p.m. and will feature remarks from outgoing CARICOM Chair, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew. The meeting is being held under the chairmanship of St. Lucia's Prime Minister, Philip J. Pear, who assumed the role of CARICOM Chair on July 1st. From July 6th to the 8th, regional leaders will engage in business sessions and discussions on key issues affecting the Caribbean community as they work to advance the region's priorities and development agenda. In more news, Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Satyakama Maharaj, says Trinidad and Tobago is eliminating obstacles to attract higher spending visitors and stimulate growth in tourism-related industries. Speaking at the media launch of Amalgamation, the Caribbean's greatest night of dance, he highlighted the country's strategic location below the hurricane belt. He revealed that government has dramatically reduced yacht clearance times, making the destination more attractive to international yacht owners and crews.
We got 500 yachts coming in a year, and we below the hurricane belt. You can't get insurance here that you bring your yacht here. But they make it so hard, taking an average of 4 hours for a yacht to come in. You'll be pleased to know we have reduced that process to 15 minutes.
He said the focus is not simply on increasing visitor numbers, but on attracting high-spending visitors who can inject money into the wider economy.
You know when those yachties come in, what they have? They have money. So we're not looking at volume, we're looking at quality and attracting people who are high value and who spend money. So we're looking at that kind of avenue, and you bring them in here. So when they come in here.
In the region, a man has been pulled alive from the wreckage of a building in Venezuela 8 days after it collapsed during twin earthquakes that struck the country. Rescuers freed Hernan Gil after he spent more than 100 hours trapped beneath an estimated 140 tons of debris. He had been located days earlier. A Chilean firefighter involved in the operation described the mission as, without doubt, the most complex and technically difficult rescue he had ever undertaken. The earthquakes, which struck Venezuela on 24th June, have claimed nearly 2,300 lives, while tens of thousands of people remain unaccounted for. Turning to sport now. After winning by an innings and 217 runs in their first test versus Sri Lanka, the West Indies are now setting their sights on sealing the series. From 10 a.m. today, the regional team will begin their second test, and Windies captain Roston Chase is confident on his team's chances to secure their first test series win over Sri Lanka since 2003.
Going into the second test, 1-0 up, the only thing we're looking for here is a next win to seal the deal and get our first win and first test series win in the championship. So I think that's what's driving the guys right now. Everyone's looking forward for that first win, so I know the guys will be confident and excited to go out there and give the best performance for the team. We're going to focus on our strengths and what we did well in the game and what we didn't do so well that we can improve on. So I am just worried about what we're going to do.
And that's what's making the news this morning. Well, joining us right now is the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today, none other than Virmala Balkaran.
I like that. None other than.
None other, of course. I mean,
good morning.
Go on.
How are you today?
I'm doing quite well today. How about you?
I'm all right. You know what? I'm a little bit well rested, and I feel like it came at the end of the week, and
right?
It should have been at the beginning of the week. You know, I'm a little bit wrong side sometimes.
You need to continue that being well rested into the weekend and into Monday, so then you start the week off, you know, with a little pep in your step.
Okay, you should take your advice as well.
I should also take my advice. The pot calling the kettle black here.
Absolutely. I have some good news for you today.
Oh, what's that?
It's really a good day. It's called National Compliment Your Mirror Day. And it simply means that what you see in the mirror, you say something nice to yourself. And you say, you're beautiful, you're kind, all of those really good things. What are your personal affirmations? What do you say to yourself every morning?
Wow, I don't actually like get up and willfully have affirmations, but I do have I'm in a good state mentally where I don't have an enemy for a voice in my head. I have a friend. So,
okay.
So yeah, I'm not like really tough on myself anymore like I used to be in the past.
Okay, well, here's just a bit of advice for anyone, maybe struggling a little bit. Look at yourself in the mirror this morning and tell yourself that you are, deserving of all things great and everything is working together for, the best for you. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I love that. We will compliment your mirror days, the name of it?
Yes, compliment yourself. So look yourself in the mirror and say all the good things that you would want to hear from someone else. Also, before we wrap up, I have to tell you that it's been 1 year since the Indian Prime Minister actually visited Trinidad and Tobago. And Carrie, I do believe we're seeing lots of tangible benefits coming out of that trip. We're seeing things in the area of healthcare, pharmaceuticals, energy and renewable energy, even culture and diaspora, education, of course. And we continue to reap the benefits from that trip 1 year ago.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Just wanted to remind you about that.
To see the partnership between Trinidad and Tobago and India and how valuable it is, and it really puts a lot on the table, and we stand to win big from it, and we have already been winning big from it.
Yeah, there's so much more to come, I am very, very sure. Things that we're still unwrapping from that visit. All right, Carrie, well, I'll talk to you soon on the show today. A very packed one indeed. And we're talking a little bit about football, so we're getting an expert opinion. And if you aren't very familiar, like me, with what's happening in the world of football, I'm going to help you with that today.
Okay, yeah, so us bandwagonists will unite.
You know what, have a great day.
Have a great one.
Have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you later.
You as well. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Virmala. When we come back, the Trinidad and Tobago Today morning show gets going right after this short break.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
I know it sounds romantic to leave everything behind to bake bread and muffins, but this isn't us. We haven't worked here in 20 years.
I'm from the Great National Trust Bank.
2 weeks.
That gives you until the 24th.
But I mean, that's Christmas Eve. Have you thought about entering the Grand Prix?
The what?
This isn't just some game for bored housewives. This is baking, and you're rolling with the big boys now.
We got a contest to win.
Yeah, we do.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT, Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Since 1972, one sound has been living in the heart of Trinidad and Tobago, the longest running radio station in the nation.
9 and 8, always 100. We're your holiday soundtrack, whether it's on your day off,
Long drives or house limes.
we are always sweet.
This is music with meaning, music with memories.
Music that feels like home.
And it's not just the songs, it's the voices you trust, personalities you've grown with.
Laughter that sounds familiar.
This isn't just radio, it's tradition.
It's memories.
It's part of who we are.
Sweet 100.1 FM, the rhythm of our identity, part of your family.
Always 100, guide you on your way. Sweet 100, sweet 100.
Friday, 3rd July 2026, the time now, it is 6:10 a.m. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. I'm Virmala Balkaran, and welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today. Let's take a look now at what's trending this morning. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is reinforcing its commitment to professionalism, accountability, and public trust following Thursday's announcement that a number of police officers have had their appointments revoked. Well, joining us this morning to discuss this decision and what it means for the organization and the TTPS's ongoing recruitment drive is Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of administration, Junior Benjamin. Good morning, Mr. Benjamin, and thank you for joining me.
Pleasant morning to you and to all your audience. It's good to be here this morning.
All right. Thank you for, being back on the show. We really appreciate whenever you join us and you're able to help us unpack a lot of everything that's happening. Now, for those who have missed the announcement, can you explain what happened within the TTPS and what it means when an officer's appointment is revoked?
Yes. So, first of all, I think that it's important for Trinidad and Tobago to appreciate that one of the key things that the police service continue to do is to ensure that there's a zero tolerance as relates to police indiscipline as well as police corruption. And the Commissioner of Police is very big on ensuring that we bring back again that level of integrity within the police service. And the Commissioner, again, understanding this, he would have ensured that due process was done in relation to these officers. And again, having the process being completed, the Commissioner thought within his powers, he took the stance that these officers, again, would not continue within the police service, and therefore he has removed that, he has revoked their precepts, and therefore they would not be police officers. And to show that level of accountability and integrity, he would have published it so that the public would be aware of these new developments.
Yeah. Now, in the past, the public usually learned of officers leaving the service through individual criminal cases reported in the media. So, as we were discussing, this time the TTPS is issuing a public administrative notice. Why is it so important now for the service to actually communicate the decision in that way? I want to zero in on that.
Yes, because you see, I think that what you see now is a leadership that is more transparent, and it is also seeking to ensure that level of accountability. While persons would know in the past whether police officer or special reserve officer is still in the service because, let's say, due to conviction or the media, we are now allowing, we are going first and letting the public know, this is exactly what is happening within the service. These persons, again, have gone through a process where the disciplinary process was applied, and these officers were found to be wanting, and therefore the Commissioner made that decision. Again, understanding the Special Reserve Police Act 1503, the Commissioner has the ability to discipline, as well as in the police service under our disciplinary orders 14 of 2008. One of the punishment there is that of discipline. So the Commissioner has that power, and he exercises that power when it is necessary to do so.
Now, without discussing individual cases, can you tell us the range of ranks involved and broadly what types of circumstances can lead to an officer's appointment being revoked?
Well, it will range from several different matters. I would say especially most of those persons that you see there, they are persons who more or less would be special reserve police officers. And under section, I think it's section 5 of 1503, you will recognize that there are several different offenses that a person might probably commit. And probably just to share one or two of those things, it would range from, let's say, disobedience to orders, even where we believe that a person would have done something that is prejudicial to good orders within the service. You recognize that one of the punishment there is that of dismissal. And therefore, once a person falls within any of the disciplinary procedures, it can be recommended. And once the commissioner is of the opinion that the recommendation is a good one, having due process, he can, again, apply the dismissal rule in the cases that we are talking about. That is what was done.
Just to clarify for our viewers this morning, did these revocations stem from recent matters or do they represent the conclusion of disciplinary and administrative processes that may have been ongoing for some time?
Yes, so certainly this is not just recent matters, but it also includes recent matters. I think one of the matters actually concluded in February of this year, but it is ongoing matters that started a while back, and again they came to disciplinary conclusion. And from an administrative perspective, in order to ensure that we clean up the police service and create that level of integrity, so that again the public would be able to trust the quality of police officers that we have on the street. The commissioner has made this decision, and I think it is a step in the right direction, so that persons understand that nobody is above the law. Police officers, we must conduct ourselves with that level of professionalism, respect, integrity, dignity, and excellence that is expected of us. And failure to do that, it can have serious consequences. And I think that is the message that needs to be sent out there, especially to those who want to now join the police service.
All right, my final question for you this morning, Mr. Benjamin. The TTPS has often spoken about manpower challenges, yet at the same time these appointments have been revoked and the service has launched a recruitment drive. So what message does this now send to serving officers, the public, and to those who are now considering a career in policing, perhaps?
Well, I think it's a very powerful message, because as much as we want to see more persons coming into the service, we want to ensure that at this time that we have quality persons coming into the service. The public is demanding a higher standard from police officers, and therefore we cannot have police officers who would come into the service to pull down the service and to bring any form of corruption or indiscipline within the service. So therefore, the decisive nature of our Commissioner of Police, I think it should really be commended, because what we are doing as a leadership is to ensure that we seek to weed out those police officers who we believe are not bringing value to the service, and we are hoping that those who are coming in would take note and they would come in to ensure that we have a better police service, so that we can build the trust of the public and we can ensure at the end of the day we can fulfill our vision, which is to make every place safe in Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Benjamin, for joining us this morning. It's always a great chat with you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so very much. Have a wonderful day.
Have a good day. Well, congratulations to all the SEA students who received results last night. Today is a day to celebrate your hard work and your perseverance and everything you've achieved to get to this point. So before we head to the break, I just want to remind you that no matter where your journey takes you next, remember that this is only the beginning of an exciting new chapter filled with new opportunities, friendships, experiences. Believe in yourself, keep working hard, stay curious, and never stop dreaming. The future is so full of possibilities, and I wish each and every one of you you nothing but success and happiness in the years ahead. Well, you know what to do. It's time now to grab your cup of coffee and settle in. Trinidad and Tobago Today has begun. Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going like,
You know, I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Wait, Grandma, is this your recipe book? Wait, this is like the holy grail of your family, right?
Why don't you ladies make the ginger snaps? People seem to really like them. We need to have a fundraising event to raise some money for the children's clinic.
Just think about all those kiddies at the clinic.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays 6 p.m., Tuesdays 1:10 p.m.
Well, before we get into the next interview, congratulations once again to all the SEA students. A very special good morning to our producer's niece. She passed for Scarborough Secondary, so congratulations to her. Also, our floor coordinator is celebrating with 3 of her cousins, I believe, as well. I don't think I have. Oh, yes, I do. To a sweet little girl. Her name is Isabella. She also had a really good result. And no matter what the result is this morning, just remember, it is just the start of something exciting and brand new. Also, a very special good morning to Mr. Barrow. I do believe he brought back a wallet for my producer after she somehow lost it. So there are really good people in this world, and we really want to acknowledge and say thank you very much. Well, continuing now with Trinidad and Tobago today, brain tumors are among the most complex and challenging conditions in modern medicine. But advances in technology, surgical techniques, and early diagnosis continue to improve outcomes for many patients. So as we observe World Glioblastoma Day later this month, it's an opportunity to raise awareness about one of the most aggressive forms of brain cancer, while also highlighting the progress being made in neurosurgical care here in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, joining us this morning is Dr. Wesley Ramcharan, a UK-trained consultant neurosurgeon. Good morning, Doctor,
good morning.
and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, before we get into today's topic, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where did you complete your medical and neurosurgical training, and what led you to specialize in neurosurgery?
Right. So I did my medical training in UWI, and then I started doing neurosurgical training in Trinidad, basic neurosurgical training, before going off to Bristol and Oxford in the UK to complete my training as well as do fellowship training. My fellowship training are actually pediatrics, epilepsy surgery, endonasal, basically through the nose, taking out brain tumors as well, so no cuts. And then, of course, surgical neuro-oncology, which is where we'll speak about glioblastomas.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I actually always wanted, while I was in med school, I actually wanted to be a liver transplant surgeon. And I actually did my elective in Birmingham in liver transplant. And it's only when in my initial year of rotations before starting training, more than a decade ago, is when I actually fell in love with the brain and the complexity of neurosurgery. And that's what really led me down that path.
All right. Well, you seem to have trained quite a lot in a highly specialized environment. What skills were you able now to bring back to Trinidad and Tobago, and what does that mean for patients here?
Of course. So the thing is, I could talk about refining surgical technique, meticulous surgical technique to prevent complications. But when you work in these very large, Bristol covered the southwest of England, which was approximately about 6 million people. So when you work in these fields, you get very good very quickly. But you also find that you pick up any complications earlier, and then you learn how to meticulous technique to prevent complications, etc. As well. But going past that, when you look at standard of care with respect to patient care, neurosurgical care, looking at principles of accountability, what we call duty of candor, which is being honest with the patient, and that's just not after surgery, that's before, even when you counsel him for surgery, etc. Surgical efficiency, etc. Then you bring that back to try to improve our level of standard of care.
Now, we're marking World Glioblastoma Day later this month. So for those of us who are hearing that term for the very first time, why is it considered one of the most aggressive brain tumors, and exactly what is it?
Right. So glioblastoma in the end is actually what we call an astrocytoma. And when we look at the brain down to the cellular level, you have neurons, which are the actual brain cells, and then you have the scaffolding cells around it called astrocytes. And those are the cells that actually become cancerous. And they range from low grade, grade 2, all the way up to grade 4. And grade 4 is the aggressive glioblastoma. Now, the problems with grade 4s are that they are highly invasive, highly aggressive, as well, they multiply very quickly, as well as they don't just push on the brain, they actually grow through. Some people say like roots of a tree or like fingers through the brain. And one of the major issues in neurosurgery that we tend to find is that while in the majority of cases in surgery, you will see a clear demarcation between the edge of the tumor and the normal white matter of the brain. In actuality, there's still tumor there. So there are certain techniques that we have refined using certain chemicals that kind of help us to try to guide our resections. This actually really became more to the forefront in the UK with the late Dame Baroness Tessa Joel, because she was a Labour MP who was actually diagnosed with a glioblastoma back in 2017. She actually passed away in 2018. She only lasted a year. But she lobbied the House of Lords to the aptly known the pink drink, which is that 3 to 4 hours before surgery, the patient would drink a drug called 5-ALA, which the tumor cells cannot deal with. And so under a certain type of light called blue light or 400 nanometers light, it will actually show up pink. So what you would do is after surgical resection, you put the light back on and you will see the entire cavity is still pink. And then you have to continue going because there's actually more tumor that you can't see with the microscope.
This is also fascinating. Dr. Ramcharan, tell me, how common are brain tumors and glioblastoma in particular in Trinidad and Tobago? And are you seeing more cases, or are we simply, just getting better at diagnosing them?
So, when we look at brain tumors, glioblastomas itself in the grand scheme of cancers, it doesn't touch the big 4. prostate, lung, breast, and colon. However, it's still, from a neurosurgical point of view, of course, it's extremely common to me. I usually see about 1 or 2 cases per 1 to 2 months. With respect to pickup, we have a lot of work to do. Of course, availability of MRI scanning, etc., not fully where the UK is, of course, but still, we are getting better every day.
Right. Now, what symptoms should people never ignore? Many people experience headaches. What are the warning signs that suggest that it's time now to seek medical attention?
Right. So, when you look at anything that is taking up space in the brain, within the skull, I should say, right? Because your skull is a fixed structure, your brain will compensate up to a certain point, and then when it decompensates, then that's when you start getting headaches. Now, I don't want everyone who has a headache to run around thinking they have a glioblastoma. Glioblastoma only exist, in the grand scheme of things, 3 people in 100,000. So it's extremely rare in the grand scheme of things, right? But certain symptoms, like if you have a headache that's going on 3, 4 weeks, headaches that start after 50, or the more important thing is the associated symptoms with the headaches. So early morning nausea and vomiting, early morning headaches, weakness down one side of your body, numbness, and then it really depending on which part of the brain it affects, because if it affects the frontal lobe, it might affect your behavior. If it affects your motor strip, it might cause you to get weak. If it affects your occipital lobe, it might cause visual problems. If it affects your parietal lobe, it might cause difficulty in understanding, speech difficulties, etc.
Now, when someone is diagnosed, what treatment options are available specifically here in Trinidad and Tobago? And how has neurosurgery advanced in the recent years in this area?
Yeah, so I call all the neurosurgery has been along a long time. I still call neurosurgery one of the young specialties because we are advancing quite quickly, especially over the last 15 to 20 years. So if someone is confirmed most likely to have a glioblastoma, because you only really confirm it in the lab when the tumor comes out. But of course, there are certain things on the CT, MRI scans, etc., that will tell you whether it's more likely to be. So aggressive surgical resection. But when we talk about aggressive surgical resection, there's always a balance in neurosurgery with respect to trying to remove as much as you can. And before we used to think 70% was good enough, but now it's more like 98, 99%. I kind of don't want to see any tumor on the post-op, the day 1 post-op MRI scan. That's the best thing ever. But then following that as well is chemoradiation as well. But one of the things that do affect the prognosis of a glioblastoma is really the molecular characteristics of that tumor itself. Now, that's something we don't have in Trinidad. So all of my patients' pathologies go up either to UPMC Pittsburgh or University of Miami for that further testing, because that gives a lot of information, because it tells me, is this person's prognosis a year or is it 10 years? Which is completely significantly different. It also gives the oncologist a bit of an idea of how effective the chemoradiation is going to be as well.
Now, one procedure that fascinates me, is awake brain surgery. So tell us, why would a patient remain awake during brain surgery, and how does that help to protect important functions like your speech and your movement, perhaps?
Right. That actually all comes back to what we were talking about, maximally safe brain surgery, which is that to be as aggressive as possible, you need to completely ensure that you are not going to cause this patient to be paralyzed, mess with their speech, mess with their cognition, etc. And because your brain doesn't have any pain receptors, you can have your patient completely awake and they will not be able to feel anything that's going on within surgery itself. And with the invention of newer drugs like remifentanil, propofol, etc., you, during the opening, open up the head, taking off the skull, etc.
That's fine.
With the patient being sedated, they don't really feel anything. And then, because these drugs, they don't have a lingering effect, from the time it's turned off, they wake up, you're able to test, do the surgery, and then get everything closed while they're asleep again. And in that way, you can, maintain as most aggressive resection as possible. So I will in grand scheme of things, really and truly, we use awake brain surgery for what we call eloquent brain surgery. And eloquence just means important parts of the brain. Every part of your brain is important. But there are certain parts of your brain that are more important for activity, for your quality of life, and certain parts of the brain that are less. And when you look at the dominant side of the brain, the areas around speech, areas around your ability to move, etc., those are the areas that you specifically want to do awake brain surgery. Because while Brodmann had described more than a century ago about what we call Broca's area and Wernicke's and the motor strip, etc., what you actually find in surgery is that not any two patients are slightly different. And those areas that represent those areas are not actually where anatomically you would think it would be. And it's not just also about the specific areas of the brain, but the association between those areas is actually more important, because that is where you get down to things like being able to understand, be fluent in your speech, complete sentences, being able to recognize someone's face, etc. It's actually associations between your Wernicke's and your visual cortex, your parietal lobe, etc. So it's actually more about what we call the general connectome, as opposed to individual parts of the brain.
Thank you for breaking that down for us. I mean, for the average, brain, for lack of a better word, it's easy to understand when you put it like that. But before we go, what message would you like to leave with our viewers as we now approach World Glioblastoma Day? Is there hope for patients, and what should families know? Let's just say a loved one was recently diagnosed.
So what I will say is, I think after our talk just now, glioblastoma is not a great disease. It is extremely aggressive, but don't give up hope. Don't think that you're an island by yourself. You will have support systems, you have your surgical team, you lean on your surgical teams, etc. And know that there are ongoing trials every day looking at a lot of different things, from electromagnetic fields to try to slow down the replication of cancers, to using lasers to burn the tumors, using ultrasounds to try to get drugs into the brain, etc., as well as using immunological targets and vaccine targeting to try to get into the glioblastomas. And all these are trials that are going on. And in the US, in the UK, recently there was another set of lobbying again for glioblastoma treatment trials, etc., ongoing right now. So there is hope for the future.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Doctor, for helping us to understand glioblastoma, the warning signs of brain tumors, and the remarkable advances taking place in neurosurgery. And conversations like these really remind us that while these diagnoses can be frightening, early medical attention, increased awareness, and continued advances in treatment can really make a significant difference. Dr. Wesley Ramcharan, thank you again for joining us, and continue the great work that you're doing in advancing neurosurgical care here in Trinidad and Tobago. The time now 6:37. We take a short break. There's more ahead.
Parents looking for the ultimate summer experience for your children? This July, give them the perfect blend of academic excellence and creative expression right here in Tacarigua. Let their creativity soar at our Kids Summer Music Camp. From the sweet sounds of the steel pan to an exciting final ensemble, we keep your children engaged from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Want to secure the academic future? Empower your child with our intensive SPA and CSEC math boot camps with essential past paper practice. Invest in their future. Weekly rates for academic boot camps are just $400. Or get the complete 4-week package for $1,600. The full 4-week music camp for just $1,600 per camper. Call or WhatsApp 482-8011 right now to register. Give your child the head start they deserve.
Being connected, it means a lot, because first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on, you know.
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digicel is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel, and I never regretted it.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Ever wondered what happens before the lights come on? Before the crowd pours in? Before the magic hits the stage? This is your all-access pass. Sneak Peek with Junior K takes you behind the scenes of the biggest cultural moments and the hottest events across TNT. From the sound checks to the stage setups, from final rehearsals to exclusive interviews. If it's about to be big, we're already there. Catch Sneak Peek airing daily on TTT and relive every moment on all our social media platforms. Sneak Peek with Junior K, where the story starts before the spotlight.
The FIFA World Cup always delivers unforgettable moments, stunning upsets, and endless debate. And this year's tournament has been no different. From surprise eliminations and standout performers to the impact of technology, tactics, and playing conditions across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, there's certainly been no shortage of talking points. Well, joining us this morning to break it all down is Terry Fenwick, former Trinidad and Tobago men's senior team head coach and former English international footballer. Good morning, Terry. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. I hope you're all enjoying this fantastic World Cup.
Well, let's get right into it, Terry. Now, England faces Mexico in the round of 16 this Sunday in Mexico City. Now, I know you were a part of the last England team to play at the Azteca Stadium during the 1986 World Cup. I'm not going to age you here, Terry. I'm very sorry. How much of a factor will the altitude be for England, and does this give Mexico an advantage?
I think it is, yes. It's very difficult to play under because, you know, going back in time there, back to 86, you'd find yourself running hard for 15 minutes and then all of a sudden, boom, your chest would almost explode because you couldn't breathe. Incredible. It's just under 8,000 feet above sea level. It's difficult to play in, but the host nation, Mexico, obviously used to all of that. I think this is going to be a tough one for England. But I'm still always fearful that my England team will get through.
Now, France has looked every bit the favourite so far. So with players like Mbappe and Olise in top form, do you see anyone stopping them, or are they the team to beat?
Well, it's a difficult one again, because I think people have got to understand and recognise here that Mbappe, who has been absolutely brilliant, he spent most of his career at PSG with a lot of these same players that are in the French national side now. So that's why they're blending so well, so good, looking so powerful in every game so far. Mbappe, his pace is unbelievable. His finishing skills have been brilliant. But people have got to recognise all of them players around him, the Elise's and all of them. These are guys that he's used to. He's been around them for so long at PSG. And PSG, possibly the best football club in the world today. So that's where he's come from. Obviously playing at Real Madrid at the moment, but not doing as well there. But my God, this French side looks very powerful. It's going to be a tough team to beat. And when you've got a superstar at the front of your game like Mbappe, scoring goals, creating goals. Yeah, absolute favourites. Yeah.
Now, Terry, let me ask you, round of 16 now, who has impressed you most so far? And any surprises?
Yeah, next to France, I've got to say Argentina, and we're coming back to the same thing again. We've got, my God, this has gone back years to my time. You know, Argentina with Messi, nobody can stop this guy. His quick feet, his touch, his movement. He drifts into spaces. He's always looking around himself to make sure he knows where he is, how damaging he can be when he gets hold of that ball. But these are another side, Argentina, for me, that just look incredible. They're well structured. They've been together for a long while. Messi's now getting on in the edge. This is his last World Cup, and I'm sure he'll be looking to go out of it as a champion again, because he's just been fantastic, scoring goals, creating goals. Argentina are going to be thereabouts, I think. Yeah.
Now, another favourite, Ronaldo, at 41, is still scoring. What does his longevity say about the modern game?
Well, I'd have to say to you, if you look around now, yes, he's 41. He's been a superstar in football for decades. But if you look at the youngsters that are involved in this World Cup, and let me just highlight USA. When you look at some of these players, they're fantastic. These are kids, and people are not recognising the USA. Their team average age for the last World Cup 2022, average age was 22. So they are doing a great development program behind the scenes in the USA. All of these players now are with top clubs in Europe. That's the way the route's going. But as we've just said, the best teams in this competition, at the top of their team, they've got one of the old guard superstars from yesteryear, Messi, Mbappe, 27. This is probably, he's probably got another one World Cup in him. But there's not too many around like that anymore. And I just think the game's getting younger, in my opinion.
Now, we've already seen traditional European powers like Germany and the Netherlands knocked out. So do you think now that, you know, maybe conditions in the United States and Canada and Mexico have played a part? Or is this simply a sign that the rest of the world has caught up?
I think it's a sign that the rest of the world are catching up. Yes, because people have got to understand how powerful sport, football, cricket, how powerful this is. We've got everybody watching this World Cup at the moment. The USA have done a terrific job with FIFA putting this together. Yes, they've changed a few rules, which I'm in absolute agreement. I think it's working fantastic. Some of the fans will complain about the rehydration breaks in each half, and that's probably just the fans that are there in person at the ground. They don't want to see the game broken up. But for me as a coach, that's perfect, because you get more time with your players. If it's going great, then you're always pushing them again. Let's get more, let's get better, let's win this game. If it's not going so well, you're fixing things, making sure these players get back to the game plan. I think it's worked out perfectly in this World Cup. I've loved it so far.
Now, talking about things that work or don't work, I want to talk a little bit about VAR and improving the game or taking too much away from it. What do you think about that? Has technology really improved the game, or, you know, has it really taken away from the flow and the emotion of football?
Well, this is a little bit emotional for me, because if you go back to 1986, when Diego Maradona clear handball and he turned it into the hand of God, England would have won that game back in the day if we'd been given that handball, free kick England, where you go, we'd have won that game, maybe won the World Cup. But VAR absolutely has tidied things up, cleaned things up. I think it's been brilliant for the game. However, I must say there's been one or two penalty decisions that I've seen over the recent 2 or 3 days that I cannot agree with, and I can't believe the referees haven't, there you go, there's the hand of God. When you go back and look at some of these penalty instances, they're definite penalties, and the referees have walked away not giving a free kick, not giving a penalty. So I can't agree with some of them, but I think in general it's been very tidy, excellent.
Questions coming in from our viewers this morning for you, Terry. What's your take on the emergence of the African sides? 9 sides qualified to the knockouts.
I think they've been brilliant. They've been such a shock to European countries. Everybody's expecting your Argentina, your Spain, your France, all of these at the top, Germany, Holland. But I've got to say, we have been shocked by the quality of football in some of the African nations. Not all of them have come through, no, but generally it's been such an upbeat. I think it's been fantastic. I look at the coaches that are getting involved with a lot of these countries. I think they've done a terrific job. And these guys have got talent on the ground. I think we've all got to recognise, particularly here in Trinidad and Tobago, yes, we've got some wonderful talent right here, Trinidad and Tobago, but we're not seeing it anymore because there's no development on the ground. That's because the people at the top of the sport don't understand the sport or the business of the sport. And we've got to tighten that up so, we're at World Cup instead of Curacao.
Now, Terry, we've also seen some mandatory hydration breaks because of the extreme heat. And as a coach, how valuable are those breaks, not just for player welfare, but also from a tactical standpoint?
Oh, absolutely. This has been a game changer for me because you see some of the games are not going your direction, not with you. And the coach gets that 3 minutes of time to install in his players a game. This is the game plan. This is what we've got to change. This is what we need to do to progress into the next levels, the next round of the tournament. We're in knockout stages now, so that extra time, first half and second half for the rehydration, is absolutely pivotal for coaches, teams, and their nations. I think it's been brilliant.
Now, this could be the final World Cup for both Ronaldo and Messi, like we were talking about before. Now, Terry, if one of them were to have one last magical run, who do you think is more likely to lift the trophy and why?
Well, I love both of these players. When you look at what they've given to the game over decades, Ronaldo, Manchester United, he's been all over the world. He's done a great job. He's 41 now, and he's still playing in the World Cup finals. He's done a fantastic job. Messi, look at the job that he's done worldwide, and now that he's in Miami, he's lifted the game of soccer off the ground, out of nowhere for the American nation, and they're doing brilliant. When you look at how they're progressing in the game, and kids are moving from American football into soccer because, as you haven't got the issues and problems of injuries that they've had in the past. But again, you've got to recognise how powerful the game of football is. It's brilliant. And not just that, in the world that we live in today, it's given these kids education as well as sport. It's doing some wonderful things worldwide, and we're seeing it right now in this World Cup when you're seeing so many young players. USA, a big example I've given earlier. I think you've got to look at that and see how powerful this is.
Now, who are your standout players for the tournament so far?
Harry Kane. I'm English, I've got to say Harry Kane, of course, but of course, Messi and Mbappe, I think they've been absolutely tremendous, brilliant. Harry Kane's done a great job scoring goals for England when we look like we're stuttering a little bit. And again, the standouts are the more experienced, knowledgeable players that have been around the block, played the game, seen the game, know how the game's changed over years. I would hope the public are recognising that we're not seeing as much, if any, of this possession football that the world has just had for the last 10, 15 years, where it's square, square, back, square, and people winning, losing possession of the ball because of these same tactics. It's got back to what I was used to playing, which was defend hard, make sure you're difficult to beat, but when you win it, positive and direct, let's go for it. And that's what I'm seeing from the best teams in the tournament so far. They've got the right players in the right positions, and they've got, your Messis and your Mbappes doing great things on the counter-attack and just going for it. Positive. I'm loving that.
Well, Terry, this may be a little bit forward for me to ask you, but what are your predictions for the finals? And did you know that we're also hosting a watch party here at TTT? So that's something
I've got to come.
I agree. You know what? You are most invited. It's taking place right here at 1 p.m. at the Mecca. But you know what? That was a shameless plug. So continue. Tell me, what are your predictions for the finals?
Well, I think I have to agree with your earlier comment. I think France, you can't look too far away from them. They look powerful, strong, and they've got every position covered. Again, I would have to relay that back to PSG and the years they've put into that and the top courts that they've got there. Of course, I want England to be thereabouts. I want them to get to the final, maybe win it. And you see, when you've got somebody like a Harry Kane at the front that's scoring goals for fun, give him half a chance, he scores, you've got that opportunity. Argentina, for me, with Messi, winning the World Cup the last 2 times out, how can you strike them off? You can't. They're brilliant. Messi's brilliant. And they look like they're enjoying the World Cup. However, there's always going to be an upset along the way. And it's how you cover that, how you make sure you're doing the best. Outside of them 3 teams, I'd like to see one of the African nations get through the semi-finals, do it well. When I look at what Morocco had done in the tournament, they've been fantastic. People that we've not seen before. Now, I know lots of these players are playing all over Europe, sometimes not in the biggest leagues in Europe, but they're coming through. So that tells me they've done a great job behind the scenes with their development.
Yeah, Terry, thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate you, and we hope that we'll talk to you soon before the finals. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too, darling.
All right, just a few minutes before the top of the hour, Carrie's up next with a major network news. A break before that. Don't forget, we're doing it all here at the finale. It's Game on the Finale, and it's taking place Sunday 19th at 1 p.m. at the Mecca, 11A Maraval Road. Who will lift the trophy? Come experience all of this with us. It's the Watch Party Experience. We'll see you in hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago today.
Rivalries, predictions, and bragging rights. Who are you backing? Who's already making excuses? And who do you think will lift the trophy? Join hosts Mariah Ramharak and Nasira Mohammed live on The Final VAR, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. as they discuss every controversy, every goal, and review every match from football's biggest stage, along with a panel of guests. The Final VAR, where the debate is as exciting as the game. Watch exclusively on TTT and stream on TTT Live online.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
What if possibility was only the beginning? Welcome to Limitless, a journey where ideas become action and action becomes impact. From breaking barriers and challenging misconceptions to designing with dignity and driving innovation with heart. This series explores how inclusion is moving from concept to community in Trinidad and Tobago. Across each episode, we meet the change makers and everyday leaders, turning challenges into opportunity, building real solutions that change real lives, from possibility to impact. This is Limitless.
I know it sounds romantic to leave everything behind to bake bread and muffins, but this isn't us. We haven't worked here in 20 years.
I'm from the Great National Trust Bank.
2 weeks.
That gives you until the 24th.
But I mean, it's Christmas Eve. Have you thought about entering the Grand Prix?
The what?
This isn't just some game for bored housewives. This is baking, and you're rolling with the big boys now.
We got a contest to win.
Yeah, we do.
Good morning. This is your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts, making the news at this time. As part of the government's commitment to providing safe and adequate housing for all citizens, Minister in the Ministry of Housing, Philip Alexander, visited Marcano Quarry Lands, commonly known as Canada, in Laventille, to evaluate living conditions and hear residents' concerns firsthand. The minister said the small number of people still occupying the building will need to be immediately relocated.
We in the Ministry of Housing have been given a mandate by the Prime Minister, and that is to get as many people properly housed as possible. This situation here, we have to find out what exactly went on here, why there was a mass relocation. I have the engineering and the maintenance team here with me. They're going to assess the building, a preliminary assessment. When we get back to the ministry and in the HCC, they'll be able to tell us the 3 or 4 people still living here. We're obviously going to have to do some kind of emergency relocation for them.
The minister noted that it is still too early to determine whether the building can be salvaged or if it will have to be demolished, pending the outcome of a comprehensive assessment.
If it is capable that these units could be rehabilitated, rebuilt, and reissued to people, then we'll go in that direction. Ultimately, that decision will be made at the Ministry of Housing. There are other ministers like Minister David Lee, the HCC, the chairman, the management. We will all meet and discuss what could be done here.
The visit follows a similar assessment carried out 3 months ago at the HDC development on Nelson and George Streets in Port of Spain. Minister of Rural Development and Local Government, Khadija Amin, says that although substantial investments have been made to strengthen flood preparedness, personal responsibility and community-level readiness remain critical as Trinidad and Tobago enters the height of the rainy season.
We like to say God is a Trini, but we have to be prepared. We have to remember 2018. We have to remember 2022. Remember those major floods and how devastated we were.
Minister Amin says one of the biggest challenges during emergencies, specifically flooding, is convincing residents to evacuate despite shelters being available and fully equipped to accommodate them.
We don't have a culture of evacuating. I have flood-prone communities, and they prefer to stay in their home even if their home is surrounded by water. Bring them food and basic supplies so that they will survive until the water goes down, even though we have an active shelter. So our shelter is usually a coordinating point for sending relief supplies in. We send medication, food, drinking water, mattresses sometimes, but many of them prefer not to leave their home.
The minister says flood mitigation efforts have been intensified ahead of the peak of the rainy season, with coordinated drainage works aimed at improving water flow and reducing flood risks in vulnerable communities. In some sport now, Form 1 student Lauralee Basdeo, who lost her father to gun violence and several family members due to illness, has shown remarkable resilience by refusing to let tragedy define her. Speaking at the 2026 PowerGen Secondary Schools Cricket League award ceremony, the 13-year-old Form 1 Holy Faith Convent student says she's aiming to be one of the best bowlers in Trinidad and Tobago. The left-hand pace bowler, who was invited to represent Rio Claro West Secondary this past season, aided the team in a campaign that saw them win the girls' hardball title.
I feel honored. I thank Rio Claro for having me because listening to some of the speeches made me want to, it encouraged me to do better in the future, and seeing other children get the award make me want to do better so I can also get an award. Well, hardball I've been playing for a year now, and windball I've been playing since I was a baby. I think I'm doing okay for my age. I think when I get older, about 2 or a year again, I would be a big cricketer. Well, I hope for that, and I'll push myself for that. I want to achieve being one of the best bowlers in Trinidad and Tobago, an orthodox bowler, and I'm going to work really hard for that.
And I really believe she will achieve that. And that's what's making the news at this time. When we come back, it's our number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Why is Talk City 91.1 FM the leading talk station in Trinidad and Tobago? Because nobody delivers conversations like we do. Start your mornings with Ground Report. Andy Pitbull Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Snipes setting the agenda from 6 to 9 a.m. Then it's Off the Record with Stefan Reese and Mr. X, Fearless Talk, and the issues everybody's discussing. Stay connected with Sharon. Take it front with Officer Shabadi. Go beyond limits with Roland Stewart. Drive home with Heavy Duty and David Welch on Under the Radar. And wrap up your day with Kingsley and OB on The Wrap Up. Real talk, real people, real Trinidad and Tobago. Listen live on Talk City 91.1 FM and follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Talk City 91.1 FM, the #1 talk station in Trinidad and Tobago.
Hi everybody, I am Leah.
And I'm Dion.
And we are
The Duncans.
Listen, we're here to tell you about a project the Lord has given to us called the Marriage Confessional. It is geared toward married couples, those that are on the road to marriage, and those that want to get married one day.
So join us on TTT and on Facebook and YouTube at TTT Live Online.
The Marriage Confessional, only on TTT.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success, it's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT, Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Wait, Grandma, is this your recipe book? Wait, this is like the holy grail of your family, right?
Why don't you ladies make the ginger snaps? People seem to really like them. We need to have a fundraising event to raise some money for the children's clinic.
Just think about all those kiddies at the clinic.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT. If you're streaming us live on Facebook or YouTube, a very special good morning to you. Whatever you're doing, maybe you're celebrating today all the SDA results from last evening. Well, we're so glad that we can be a part of that. And of course, thank you for having us echo in your homes, your hearts, your gyms, your cars, wherever you take us. So continuing this morning, and now from developing precision and discipline to building confidence, teamwork, and outdoor survival skills, the Marksman Experience is much more than learning how to safely handle an air rifle. Returning for its 3rd year this August, the camp offers young people an opportunity to really challenge themselves in a structured and supervised environment while learning valuable life skills. Well, joining us this morning, we have Joel Dure, and that's the vice captain of Smoothbore Air Rifle, and Rennie Driscoll, coordinator and administrator of the Marksman Experience 2026. Good morning to you both and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Now, for viewers hearing about the Marksman Experience for the first time, what is the overall vision behind this camp, and what do you hope that every participant leaves with after the first, after the 3 days?
So, the Marksman Experience, or the Marksmanship Experience 2026, started in 2024. And what we have provided then, we provided for the children, for the kids where we would have introduced them to the air rifle. Now, when we hear air rifle, yes, it's a firearm. What type of firearm? So it's a firearm that uses a caliber of .177, basically a pellet. So it's very small. You can take your fingers and crush it. So it will become ineffective, where you cannot use it again. And we decided to introduce kids from the ages of 7 to 18 to this rifle as a sport in TNT, to let them know about firearms, the safety of firearms, what is a firearm, and to let them know how secure a firearm is to handle, or an air rifle is to handle. Now, we know most persons in TNT, they would own an air rifle, and they own an air rifle mainly for hunting, you know, but in this purpose, we have it for sport also.
Interesting.
Yes.
Now, air rifle shooting is often misunderstood, and I can see how that can be from your explanation a little while ago. So now tell us, how do you introduce children and beginners to the sport while making safety the absolute priority?
Good question. So in air rifle or firearms, safety is the #1 priority. If we don't have safety, we don't have a show. Nothing goes on without safety. So we can take a firearm and we can load the firearm and rest it on the table and leave it there, and the firearm would do nothing. So with qualified persons like myself and other instructors, nothing goes on until we introduce the firearm, the makeup of the firearm, the components of the firearm, the rules behind the firearm, the handling of the firearm with proper supervision. Outside of that, nothing happens.
Now, Rennie, we're talking about this camp, and it's welcoming children from ages, as you said, 7 to 18.
Yes.
So how do you tailor the activities now to ensure that everyone's engaged on an appropriate level?
Well, firstly, everyone progresses at their own pace, at their own time, and their own understanding. And the instructors that we have, they break it down to each age group. We also have adults as well. So don't forget the adults. We also have adults as well introduced into the camp. And based on your level of understanding and your level of progression, each instructor that is placed with your team or your group goes through that pace from where you are at. And over that 3-day weekend, you progress daily because you're not staying at that level. You're going to learn your stance. You're going to learn how to breathe. You're going to learn basically just how to hold the rifle itself. So it is tailored to the participant themselves.
Mm-hmm. Now, Joel, precision shooting demands patience and focus and emotional control. So I have to ask you, how do these qualities translate into everyday life? You've been doing this for a while. You can probably, draw that analogy for us, particularly for young people.
Yes. Patience, patience in itself is patience. And when you apply patience to shooting, in competition, when you hold the rifle and you're aiming down range at the target, this is where the patience comes in now. Because you just don't want to go up into the aim and just take the shot. So you have to go up and settle, get your breathing under control, and then when you're ready to take that shot, it can take at least a minute, if so much longer, if you know you want to get that shot dead on bullseye. Mm-hmm. And then you release, and then you squeeze gentle and softly. So the emotional part, it can be tiring because sometimes we think we really don't need that time to rush. But it's not about rushing. It's about precision and having the emotional part, really settled. And when you see the outcome or your results from the shooting, it encourages you. Mm-hmm. It builds your confidence. Mm-hmm. And it makes you want to come back, to continue to go for more. Yeah.
All right, let's talk now about this event, the Marksman Experience. So tell us everything we need to know about it and how can we be a part?
So the Marksman Experience is carded for 3 days from the 14th to the 16th of August. Registration is open right now. We're welcoming youth from the ages of 7 to 18, as well as adults are all welcome. Yes, you can come too.
I feel like I need to.
Right? The cost for it, for youth, the 7 to 18, it's $500 and adults are $600. Now you're going to be experiencing not only handling the rifle, but life skills as well too. So things like basic first aid, navigation, teamwork, strategical thinking. It's not just I'm going on the range and I'm going to hold a firearm and I'm going to hit the bullseye. It's a lot more, right? And if persons are interested, they can contact.
We have some numbers on the screen as well for you here. And it's listed at 753-1321-799-2811.
That's correct.
So the information is on the screen and it's taking place, as you said, it's the 14th to the 16th of August.
Correct.
So why should people attend?
People should attend because amazingly, I was told by one person at one time, they never knew that this type of sport existed in TNT. Mm-hmm. Right? And I was amazed to hear that. And I've been in this sport over 20 years. Wow. Or in the discipline.
How did you pick up this sport?
I picked up this sport through work, my work experience.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Renee, how did you pick up this sport?
I was introduced to it by Joel.
Okay.
And it's an adrenaline rush because my sons do it.
I see. Okay.
So we want to make persons aware. They see firearms. Firearms don't kill people. Yeah. We always try to inform the public of that. Firearms don't kill people. People kill people. Mm-hmm. It's just the type of weapon we use to commit, let's say, a crime or act or to want to kill someone. Mm-hmm. Yes? But when you understand firearms, you would really, really appreciate it. Yeah. So I may just want to add, that Renee would have said, we have a session for the parents also. But this is the third year, and the parents now, they would have demanded that they be included in the camp because we started off for kids. But again, so because the parents wants to have that experience also. So we have created that area. We are also having the Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service, who would be coming in and partnering with us, and a number of other agencies, bodies, to really help us understand more, not just the fire, but as Renee said, with the other life experiences, with the hiking, the navigation, first aid. So all these things ties in with handling of firearms. And if someone would choose now to go into the career of law enforcement, you have that knowledge,
it would be
you
a
have a
great
basic
asset.
idea.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, guys, this certainly sounds like an opportunity for young people to learn way more than just marksmanship. So this is taking place, the 3rd annual Marksman Experience. The information is on the screen for you, 14th to the 16th of August from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. For registration, the numbers again on the screen. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. We take a short break, and when we come back, so much more for you on Trinidad and Tobago Today on TTT.
Your heart, brain, and body work hard every day. Give them the support they deserve with omega-3. Packed with essential fatty acids, omega-3 helps support heart health, brain function, and overall wellness. Whether you're staying active, focused, or simply living life to the fullest, live healthier with omega-3. Wellness that works from within. Tune in to Wellness Unlocked on TTT Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:45 a.m.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on,
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digital is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
I know it sounds romantic to leave everything behind to bake bread and muffins, but this isn't us. We haven't worked here in 20 years.
I'm from the Great National Trust Bank.
2 weeks.
That gives you until the 24th.
But I mean, that's Christmas Eve. Have you thought about entering the Grand Prix?
The what?
This isn't just some game for bored housewives. This is baking, and you're rolling with the big boys now.
We got a contest to win.
Yeah, we do.
There are a number of risk factors for heart disease, so a lot of attention has to be put towards preventive cardiology. What can we do to reduce the burden due to all these risk factors? Hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol, you need to stop cigarette smoking, you gotta get people exercising.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
Welcome back to the show. Well, to start this morning, we actually spoke with DCP of Administration, Junior Benjamin, about the revocation of the appointments of 17 police officers. Now, the commissioner is making it clear this morning, no one is above the law, whether you're a big shot or a small fry.
A pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. I wish to address the public advisory issued by the TTPS regarding the revocation of the appointments of 17 police officers. And in so doing, I wish to reaffirm a fundamental principle that within this service, there are no sacred cows. Police officers are entrusted with extraordinary powers. And with that trust comes the duty to uphold integrity, discipline, and service to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. When that oath is broken, the consequences will be clear, decisive, and impartial. Let it be a warning that any officer who wears this uniform and engages in criminality will face the full weight of lawful action. I will take every step necessary to remove you from this organization. The TTPS remains committed to transparency, accountability, and the highest ideals of public service. We will continue to strengthen institutional integrity, reinforce public trust, and ensure that every officer remembers their duty is to serve without fear or favor. As we advance our zero-tolerance approach, the public will see a renewed and resolute response to crime. My officers will pursue criminals wherever they are found. And in this service, all are equal before the law. Remember that my officers will be hunting all criminals. And in so doing, it will be big gooty, small gooty, same shot. In this service, all are equal before the law, and all are accountable to the people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Alistair Guevara. Well, if you're wondering what the weather is going to be like today, we have you covered. Zena James.
I'm Zena James with your weather update. On Friday, a tropical wave will continue to move across our area, bringing increasing moisture and unsettled conditions. So expect partly cloudy to cloudy skies with periods of showers and a medium chance for thunderstorms, mostly focused over Tobago and eastern Trinidad. Some of the heavier activity could produce gusty winds, localized street flooding, and in areas with already saturated soils, a low risk for landslides. Despite the cloud cover, a few sunny breaks are still expected where temperatures could reach 32 degrees in Trinidad and 29 degrees in Tobago. Across the seas, conditions will remain moderate in open waters and slight in sheltered areas. However, gusty winds near heavier showers could create occasionally choppy conditions for mariners.
Thank you so much, Zena James. Well, maths is often described as the language of logic and problem solving. But for many students, it can also be one of the most challenging subjects. A new national competition hopes to change that by making mathematics engaging, competitive and fun, while reinforcing what students learn in the classroom. The Maths Up, Max Up National Mathematics Competition is designed for both primary and secondary school students using a double Jeopardy-style academic quiz aligned with the SEA and CSEC syllabus. So that's very interesting. And telling us a lot more about that is Adana Leonard-Williams, Director of A.L. Williams Educational Services and Consultancy. Good morning, Adana. Welcome back to the show.
Yes, good morning, Virmala. How are you?
I'm doing great. Good to have you here. Now, tell us about the inspiration behind Maths Up, Max Up, and what gap in mathematics education were you hoping to fill?
Right. So, the inspiration behind this was that every single year as a secondary school teacher, from examinations in Christmas term, Easter, any examinations, students always say, this exam was hard and I left out this, and some persons, they put their head on the desk. When it came to CSEC, you saw many of your students coming back in January to do, if it's not to improve the grade, or they would have failed mathematics. And it's a constant repertoire that students are not doing well, from the SC results, from also CXC, at the CXC level. We see that children continue to fail this subject area. And 2 years ago, I sat and I stated that, I need to do something about it. I believe in looking for solution. It might not be the savior for everybody, but I'm guaranteeing that it will definitely touch many. So I came up with it, and the name Maths Up, Max Up, because when you max up, you turn up the volume. So that means that you want to go from lower to medium, and you go to the highest point, meaning the highest point being that you are successful and you have reached your goal. And to change the mindset of many of our young people, instead of me hearing, oh gosh, that math exam was hard, let's say that it was challenging, or let's say I did my best, and I really think that I'm improving, and let's change the attitude. So the competition, having a competition in the national forum would change that attitude, because teachers, maths enthusiasts, students, you will get that move from maths being hard to, I want to try to be a part of this competition. I want to improve myself, because schools would be looking for the best candidates to represent their schools. So there will be some sort of competitiveness in the classroom, in the school environment, so the best students will be able to represent their school at the competition. So it would change that whole mindset and change that whole atmosphere. So this is one of the positive things coming out of Maths Up, Max Up.
Yeah. Now, parents sometimes worry that, competitions add stress to the students. So how do you ensure that this remains an enjoyable experience while they learn as well?
Well, Virmala, every step of the way, we hold the hands of the students and guide them. So just as with the Mindstar National Spelling Bee, we do the same thing with the Maths Up, Max Up National Jeopardy competition, where we will have training sessions to show the children what they are going to, and a sample of what they are going to experience, which will quell the nerves, because when you know what you are going to do and you will be able to repeat and have your mind settled, you'll be able to execute well on the day. So I see that the enthusiasm and the excitement of the children, and with the training that we will be giving them, that their nerves will be quelled, anxiety will be minimized.
Now, what has the response been like from the schools so far, and educators embracing this initiative?
Well, a lot of excitement. I could give you some examples. Miss, could we have 2 teams? Could we bring 3 teams? I'm like, no, miss, it's 1 team. Miss, I have many students who want to come on board. They want to do this competition. I had a teacher, she told me, just like last week, she called me. She said, miss, I chose 20 Form 3s. I said, miss, it's only 3 students that we would be using to face off, a Form 3, a 4, and a 5, or 1 Form 3, 2 Form 5, however the school wants to, combination, right? So there's a lot of excitement, because when something is new, and as I say, there are some teachers who are very passionate about their mathematics and the subject area, you will have that zeal of wanting to go forward, because everybody's interested in what it is. So I guarantee that you will get that level of enthusiasm and participation going forward.
Right. Well, can you tell us now, how can we register, and what message would you like to leave with students and educators who may be, hesitant about taking part? It's another competition, but this is the one for them. What would you say to them, and how can they register?
How they can register? With this information, the memo was disseminated to all SS3 officers in the 8 districts, and they can also register they can either WhatsApp 707-4650, 707-4650 for quicker information, and the email information on the competition overview, the structure, everything will be sent to the school. And my words for the teachers and the students that our company is made up of several experts. And with this maths competition, several maths enthusiasts, some of them popular in Trinidad and Tobago, will be making up the panel of judges to be able to explain, to be able to, show students and put them in a direction as to if they got it correct, why, if they got it incorrect, why. So when you visualize, it's not just going to be get a question and an answer. You would also be getting these expert persons on the panel explaining why you have to work it out this way. So it's not me being an English teacher, oh, well, how is she doing maths? No, we have experts on our team that will make sure that this competition runs smoothly. And also, surprisingly, we will have agencies, government agencies, lending their support to ensure. So thus far with the Tobago Information Technology Limited, we have them on board to support this venture. And going further, Virmala, I would give Trinidad and Tobago more information as we come into the new term in September, God willing.
All right. Thank you very much, Adana, for joining us this morning. It's Maths Up, Max Up, the National Mathematics Competition. And we'll talk to you. And I know we want to find out how it all went down. Have a great day, Adana. We'll talk to you soon.
Yes, same to you.
All right, 7:34, that's the time. Whatever you are doing, wherever you are heading, maybe you have a very exciting weekend plan. Well, we want to hear all about it. Also, if you want to get in touch with us, all you have to do is send us an email at ttoday@ttt.co.tt, and you can be a part of the conversation that's shaping our nation. Check out everything that we do here at TTT Live Online, also our social media channels. You can find everything on the screen right now and at TNT Today Show. Remember, you can collaborate with us through the airwaves of Talk City 91.1 FM, Sweet 100.1 FM, and Next 99.1 FM. Again, that email, it's ttoday@ttt.co.tt.
Being connected, it means a lot because, first of all, you can't do this by yourself.
When you have your phone, you always have somebody at your side. I could call for help, anything going on,
I'm giving children the opportunity to experience outside of their neighborhood.
Digicel is kind of a comfort, you feel good that people in your lives are always able to be contacted.
I was with the other network and I was having problems, so I joined Digicel and I never regretted it.
Every client deserves expertise, integrity, and guidance they can trust. At Camino Realty International, we deliver integrated real estate solutions, sales, rentals, property management, and project development. Driven by excellence, transparency, and innovation, we protect value, create opportunity, and build lasting success. Because real estate isn't just about buildings. For more information on our services, log on to CaminoRealty.com or follow us on social media at Camino Realty TT. Camino Realty International, elevating lives one property at a time.
Grandma, is this your recipe book? Wait, this is like the holy grail of her family, right?
Why don't you ladies make the ginger snaps? People seem to really like them. We need to have a fundraising event to raise some money for the children's clinic.
Just think about all those kiddies at the clinic.
The new class. Next level of radio. Wake up! This is the Link Up with Next 99.1 FM.
Now it's time to make that connection with Next 99.1 FM. This is the Link Up, and today we're doing things a little bit differently because they have a very special guest with them. So let's see what's happening in that studio. Good morning, Fro. Happy Friday.
TNT. Hey! We want a goal.
Ties it.
TNT.
Get him.
We want a goal.
How are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm in a good spirit. How are you?
I'm doing great. You know, it's been a great morning here on the show. We've been having a lot of fun. I have the best team, just so you know. I just want to say that out loud. I do have the best team. Sorry?
Who is your team?
And I'm not talking about football, champion. I'm not talking about football. I'm talking about the team behind the scenes here. You know, y'all are just one studio away. You'll never come to visit. You never call. You never write. You never text.
We were never invited, eh?
Oh, okay. Moving on. What do you have planned this weekend?
This weekend, well, we have some exciting stuff. Our sister station, Sweet 100.1, they're having their Christmas in July. That's right. That's taking place at Rockback. In Chaguaramas later this evening, so I will be attending that while I watch the Argentina game.
Okay, and also we have that that final watch party that's taking place right here on 1 p.m. on Sunday, July 19th. So I know that I'm going to be seeing you there, right?
Definitely, in front,
What jersey you wearing?
England jersey.
Okay. Is Shaq going to be there? I feel Shaq is, you know, he's so quiet these days. I don't know what you do to him. Poor thing.
I didn't do anything to Shaq. Shaq did himself, whatever.
Tell Shaq there'll be lots of giveaways. So I know that he would be interested in that. So what's the song that's trending this week on Next 99?
Well, champion, you can let her know what's trending.
I like the T1T in the corner. That's nice. That is a nice little soca groove, you know. Get a job kind of vibes. Preparing for Tobago Carnival, so that is definitely where my mind is at right now.
Yeah.
Right. The one that Fro is taking us to. Got it.
Yes. Tickets are booked. Everything is organized.
I think you would.
I don't like that. I don't like the
You know, I feel like you're always setting me up because you did it for Orlando too, so that's totally fine. That's totally okay.
Did you go to Yuma? Did he carry you successfully to Yuma's band?
No. You know, he doesn't. He doesn't really care about me that much.
I told you, give me a call when you're outside. Just call me. I would have answered your call, you know, for Marlon.
Okay. Well, guys, I really hope that I see you at the finale, Game On. Remember, it's taking place on Sunday right here at the Mecca. Lots of giveaways, so much happening, and I know that you'll be there as well, the entire Next 99 team, yeah?
Definitely, thank you.
All right, well, I'll talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day. Have a great weekend until we link up next week.
Same to you. Have a wonderful day, Virmala. Thank you.
All right. That was the Link Up with Next 99.1 FM.
You hear that? The new class. Next level of radio. Wake up! This is the Link Up with Next 99.1 FM.
Parents looking for the ultimate summer experience for your children? This July, give them the perfect blend of academic excellence and creative expression right here in Tacarigua. Let their creativity soar at our Kids Summer Music Camp. From the sweet sounds of the steel pan to an exciting final ensemble, we keep your children engaged from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Want to secure the academic future? Empower your child with our intensive SPA and CSEC math boot camps with essential past paper practice. Invest in their future. Weekly rates for academic boot camps are just $400. Or get the complete 4-week package for $1,600. The full 4-week music camp for just $1,600 per camper. Call or WhatsApp 482-8011 right now to register. Give your child the head start they deserve.
I'm Jamila Bannister, host of the Socially Safe podcast, the new TTPS podcast where we share real stories, teach real lessons, and create real impact. From online safety and youth crime to community policing and personal responsibility, we go beyond the headlines and talk about what's happening in our communities with the officers and experts who are on the front lines. Because safety starts with awareness, conversation, and action. Tune in to the Socially Safe podcast on the TTPS YouTube channel, listen on Apple Podcasts, and on Spotify. Don't miss it.
Watch on TTT, Mondays, 6 p.m., Tuesdays, 1:10 p.m.
Well, right now we have a very special guest in studio with us. Definitely no stranger to the show. He's been here quite a few times. I think he's one of our repeats at this point. From 496 Championships, it's all happening on July 5th. Trey Anderson, floor supervisor at 496 Gym, is here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, so let's talk about the 496 Championships. For those of us hearing it for the first time, what exactly is this and what's happening on July 5th?
So what we wanted to do was bring in the idea of letting everybody come together in terms of not just having fitness in the gym, but having something to do together as a family. So with the 496 Championships, what we created now is just an atmosphere where people could come and enjoy watching football because, you know, right now is World Cup season. So everybody wanted to come in. You could play football, watch football, or even too, we have family day stuff as well too.
Okay.
So, you
like
know,
what?
So for the family day side of it, we have bouncy castles, jumbo games, we have food vendors, popcorn, cotton candy, everything you're looking forward to. So while maybe the dad's playing the football, the kids will go and have some fun on the next side. So
yeah, no, you're really combining fitness and community and that sense of family. And I know the gym is like one big family as well. So everyone's going to be there. And it's also a good opportunity to meet maybe people who gym. Correct. And, you know, you can line up your schedules and all of that. So I heard that there are some giveaways.
So we have some really nice cash prizes for the first place, second place, and third place. So first, second, and third has cash prizes. We also have some trophies, some really nice trophies. I can't give it away. And I want them to come and see it for themselves. And we also have gym memberships that will be given away. We have a lot of hampers as well to give away. Also a lot of sponsors we come in and distributing. So, you know, you come and everybody have a good time.
Yeah. Now, what has the response been like? And is there still room for, you know, registrations?
Honestly, the response has been incredible. We actually don't have any more space.
Oh, no.
So, unfortunately, it has been closed off, but, you know, it has been really good. The responses has been far between because we have teams coming from South, we have teams coming from Grandy, I believe, Port of Spain, all over the place. So, you know, it actually reached a good area around Trinidad and Tobago where everybody could come in and experience it.
All right. Well, remind us again, when is this happening and how can we attend?
So, it's July the 5th. At Ballpark Macoya.
So we look forward to seeing you on July 5th at Ballpark Macoya. And is that you in this promo?
Yeah.
Trey? Well, look at that. Well, Trey, we wish you all the best in that. We know we are going to hear about it after it has happened. And then we'll always continue to find out about everything happening at Experience 496. Remember, it's the Championships Football Tournament, July 5th. 10 to 6. Plans for anything else in the future, the coming days or coming months at 496?
Yes, so we actually have a lot of stuff planned as well. So we have some hikes coming up as usual. You know, that's been our thing recently, trying to create that hiking club with the gym. So we have a few hikes planned within the next few months, and also jumping into the carnival season.
Right.
We have a lot of carnival burnouts that are coming up as well. And also we just recently did our collaboration with RC Mass.
Okay.
As they're also now rebranding as well. So we actually have their collaboration with the gym. So, you know, we become their entity as well, where some of their masqueraders could come and go to our gym. Some of them could either even come by our gym, get discounts to go and buy costumes there. So, you know, that's where our collaboration was heading with them.
That sounds amazing. Well, thank you, Trey. And we know that you'll be back very, very soon.
Again.
The time now, 7:48, just about 12 minutes before the top of the hour. When we come back, a musical treat for you on Trinidad and Tobago Today.
Coming up, Barbados kicks off festival season with Crop Over, where you can live like a local. Moments of discovery and joy during Culinary Month in Antigua and Barbuda. Find that hero within you. As these women of vision share their stories of success. It's Caribbean Passport TV on TTT, Tuesday at 8 p.m.
I know it sounds romantic to leave everything behind to bake bread and muffins, but this isn't us. We haven't worked here in 20 years.
I'm from the Great National Trust Bank.
2 weeks.
That gives you until the 24th.
But I mean, that's Christmas Eve. Have you thought about entering the Grand Prix? The what?
This isn't just some game for bored housewives. This is baking, and you're rolling with the big boys now.
We got a contest to win.
Yeah, we do.
Wait, Grandma, is this your recipe book? Wait, this is like the holy grail of your family, right?
Why don't you ladies make the ginger snaps? People seem to really like them. We need to have a fundraising event to raise some money for the children's clinic.
Just think about all those kiddies at the clinic.
Can often feel divided. Music has a unique way of bringing people together. And that's the inspiration behind this year's Marionettes Chorale production, Together We Stand. A concert that blends classical music, gospel, spirituals, some music theater, pop, soca, calypso, around a message of hope and unity and shared humanity. And the production also marks the return of the chorale's much-loved Christmas in July concert series. And that's taking place 10 to 12 July. Well, joining us this morning, Dr. Megan Paulinaire McGrain, featured soprano soloist, and Dr. Nathan Najir, guest conductor. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. You know, for years we've heard about the Marionettes Chorale, and we get to have you on the Trinidad and Tobago Today show, and we have a little performance as well afterwards, so that's a very special treat. Now, the theme this year is Together We Stand. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, coming all from our national anthem, you know, the Side by Side We Stand, it kind of comes from a very divisive world that we're standing in right now. We're in a world of war, we're in a world of turbulence. It feels as though things are, there's political divide, even here within Trinidad and Tobago. And so this is an invitation to sort of come together, united, stand together, and really just embrace the collectiveness of who we are as a people. You know, it shouldn't just be in moments of turbulence.
Yeah. Now, you are one of the featured soloists. What does that mean to you personally, and what can we expect from your performances?
Oh, amazing. Thank you for that question. I think that what you can expect is that Marionettes, when we perform a collective of pieces. It's something that everybody could find joy in. And for my piece in particular, it is a spiritual and it connects different songs. And I think when I think about it, I really reflect on, you know, the personal experience that I have, as well as things that others can take out of this piece. You know, when we're singing, you can always find something to connect with your audience with. And you can see that throughout all of our soloists. We have a lot of our faithful returning soloists like Jacqueline Johnson. We have Paige Turner returning, but this time she's not singing. She's actually in a different capacity. She's performing in the orchestra, playing a different host of instruments. We have Jeremiah Matthias, a countertenor, so that's going to be very exciting for our audience to hear something very unique that Trinidad and Tobago can produce. So I think it's something for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah, well, just to clarify, it's not Christmas in July.
Correct. It's not Christmas in July.
Really?
It's not.
Okay. Well, you know, performing in a choir is very different from performing as a soloist as well. So how do you balance, you know, showcasing your own voice while adding to the beauty of the choir? I'm very interested to know that.
Yeah, that's a great question as well. I think as a soloist, you have to be mindful of when you're a soloist, you're a soloist. But when you're in a choir, you have to understand that it's a choral sound that you're trying to produce. So you have to be mindful of what's going on around you. We often talk to our members about, you know, not singing out too much, that you are not blending or you're not being, you know, I guess, careful with the sound that we're producing. And I'm sure Dr. Najir, as our conductor, can tell you a little bit about that as well.
Yeah. Now, conductor, tell us about this this concert experience.
Well, think about going into a fine dining restaurant. You have your appetizers, you have your soups and your salads, you have the main course, and you have the thing that you look forward to at the end, right? The dessert, at least for me. And so this is going to be what you're going to get in the performance itself, in the concert series.
Yeah. Okay. And who can we expect there, and maybe give us a little sneak peek of any type of performance, perhaps?
Yeah, well, you are going to hear the Dr. Pollinaire, the Dr. McGrain, who's standing right next to me. But we're also going to see Maestro Greta Taylor. She has been there now 50 plus years as conductor. Lots of other things that are happening on the concert. We have Joshua Joseph, who's also going to be at my side conducting. Again, you have one of Megan's students who is at the University of Trinidad and Tobago, where she lectures in voice, and you have just we're curating all of these great people on the concert as well.
All right. And I do understand that you have a performance for us to warm us up for the event. What will you be performing today?
Absolutely. I will be singing Steal Away to Heaven.
Steal Away to Heaven. All right. Any closing words before we wrap up?
Tickets are available, $250. You can find that on the marionettescorral.com. You can also call 790-1751. You can also get it at the box office at Central Bank Auditorium. And we're looking forward to seeing you next weekend. This is on the 10th, 11th, and 12th at Central Bank Auditorium.
Right.
More on our website.
And there will be parking available at the Anson McCall
Very
opposite.
important. So the information is on the screen right now. You can see it there. There's a number to call. Also, there's an email if you want to get in touch as well. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Nathan. So we're going to leave you with a performance. This is where we say goodbye. Thank you for being here this week. Thank you to all our guests who made the show possible. Thank you to my amazing team. We'll see you on Monday, where we do this all over again from 6 to 8 a.m. on Trinidad and Tobago Today. Leaving you with this performance for a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.
Nobody knows the trouble that I've seen. Nobody knows but my Jesus. Nobody knows the trouble that I've seen. Glory, hallelujah. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. Oh, yes, Lord. Sometimes I'm almost to the ground. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long way from home, a long way from home. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Sometimes I feel like I'm almost gone. Way up in the heavenly land, way up in the heavenly land, Lord, way up in the heavenly land, where I'll steal away, steal away, steal away to Jesus, steal away, steal away home. I ain't got long to stay here. No, I ain't got long to stay
Good morning. This is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Commissioner of Police Alistair Guevara has publicly addressed the dismissal of 17 police officers, stressing that no one within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is above accountability. He made it clear that no officer is sacred and warned that misconduct will not be tolerated, emphasizing that those who engage in wrongdoing must be prepared to face the consequences of their actions.
I wish to reaffirm a fundamental principle that within this service, there are no sacred cows. Police officers are entrusted with extraordinary powers. And with that trust comes the duty to uphold integrity, discipline, and service to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. When that oath is broken, the consequences will be clear, decisive, and impartial.
The Commissioner made it clear that he is committed to maintaining order and discipline within the police service, while sending a strong warning that misconduct will not be tolerated and will be met with decisive action.
Let it be a warning that any officer who wears this uniform and engages in criminality will face the full weight of lawful action. I will take every step necessary to remove you from this organization. The TTPS remains committed to transparency, accountability, and the highest ideals of public service. We will continue to strengthen institutional integrity, reinforce public trust, and ensure that every officer remembers their duty is to serve without fear or favor.
Commissioner Guevara said that as the TTPS continues its zero-tolerance approach to crime, members of the public can expect a renewed, firm, and decisive response to criminal activity. He emphasized that officers will be proactive in pursuing offenders and enforcing the law, while reiterating that no one is above the law and that all individuals will be held accountable for their actions, regardless of their position or status. And consolidating the message, Deputy Commissioner of Police for Administration, Junior Benjamin, gave a deep explanation as to the rationale behind the publication of the names of officers whose appointments have been revoked. The publication marked the first time the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service publicly identified officers who had been dismissed, signaling a new level of transparency and informing the public of disciplinary action taken within the organization.
Can you say what school you get?
I got Tunapuna Secondary School.
Yeah.
We apologize for the technical difficulty there. On to the next story. Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Satyakama Maharaj, has unveiled a bold vision to transform Trinidad and Tobago into the creative heartbeat of the Caribbean, where culture is not merely celebrated, but leveraged as a powerful engine of economic growth. He emphasized that the creative sector must be viewed through an economic lens, with the potential to generate wealth, create sustainable jobs, and earn valuable foreign exchange, while showcasing the nation's rich artistic and cultural heritage on the global stage.
Countries that treat culture as entertainment will always spend money. Countries that treat culture as industry will create wealth.
All right, and that was your TDT News update. We do apologize for the technical difficulties. We will have more in a subsequent newscast. I'm Carrie Roberts. On behalf of the entire team, have a great day.
More news, more access, more ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter on air and online. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Hi, Nazira. How are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm good. What's the first word that comes to mind when you hear sports?
Cricket. Welcome to my grandmother's home, where I grew up, right in El Socorro in San Juan.